My name is Hongyu Chen. I graduated from the University of Science and Technology of China from my BS degree, and then I went to Yale University for my PhD degree. After that, I did a postdoc in Cornell University before moving to Nanyang Technological University in Singapore as an assistant professor, and where I was tenured. And I went back to China firstly to Nanjing Tech University in Nanjing, quite close here. And then I moved to Westlake University in 2021. To me, Westlake University is, has a very high level of faculty intake, because I'm in the community. I know, the top names are here, and the hardwares are no question, right? So if you go around, you see they're different. They're better in many ways than the university that I've been. I've been to quite a few top universities, and I know the difference. And in China, particular, I think the way the university is organized, the management setup, the culture, and the ambient of a research environment in terms of the level of time and efforts they put into research, I think that the choice is very clear for me. I mean, why wouldn't I? I'm working on quite a small area of research I call nanosynthesis, in terms of developing the methods of making nanostructures, like complex ones, like not the little cubes or rods. But my quest is to understand why they form in such a way and how to exploit that understanding to make more unique structures. And so maybe that's not easy to understand. It's like developing magic, without knowing what the purpose of developing magic, but I want more magic, right? I want to be able to control these little things in solution so that in the future they will become more useful. All right, so of course I do have quite a few works on the potential applications, try to test this direction, etc. But my core research is on the development of magic, not on the application side. Think about synthesis, like it's a creation of materials, like the synthesis of organic molecules, and the synthesis, for example, of woodcraft, of steel working, right, iron working, and so on and so forth, right? So if you think about the application, the short-term application being the fruits of the tree, like if you, for example, in organic chemistry, the pharmaceuticals that we get are the fruits of the tree. The tree or the field itself is the ability to make things. So you have to first grow the tree in order to pick the fruits. And the current problem, in my opinion, in the community is that everybody is very focused on the fruits. They keep on asking, where are the fruits? But sometimes they forget about the tree. You have to develop the ability to create things, right? Woodcraft, ironworking. Think about masons, right? So all these capabilities are built in the future, in the past, so that we can take the fruits, right? And so, in my opinion, it's very important to have a whole range of capabilities at a nanoscale to be able to make things in order to create things. But if you're too much focused on getting something useful, sometimes you'll make do with the things at hand. And that's why I think that the ability to make things is a fundamental capability that we must have. And so that's why I take pride in my research, and I focus on that. If you think about it, the current nanotechnology is all about simple structures. And so if you go back 5,000 years back, if you think about ages where when we make swords or like little bows or simple structures that are useful, you cannot simply say we just focus on the current technologies. You couldn't think about for example, windmill, which requires very complex skills, or clocks, or machines, right? These are all not possible at the ancient time. Even though people do want, for example, the wheel bearings are very complex. It's not very complex, but ancient people cannot make it, right? It's critical for the application, but they cannot make it because the ability to control materials, right? So I think that the expansion of our capability at a nanoscale is equally important. When I joined the Westlake University, I wasn't thinking about that. I want to focus on my research. But as you know, Westlake University is a new university, and we require management teams from professor rank. And so, and to me, it's actually an exciting task because I could do a lot of things that I believe is important for the undergraduate students. For example, I think from the Chinese education system, myself, growing from that system, I feel the self-motivation and particular leadership are not adequately trained in the previous years in high school and earlier. And a lot of time, if you look at the successful people, having a high score is not the only thing that's important. And that's exactly residential colleges are for. I think through the various activities, and I always told students, activity itself is not to get the immediate goal done, but rather to really find your interest in life. You know, what motivates you in life? And you know, in getting the goal of the certain activity, for example, debates or whatever, right? The point is not to win the debate, but rather to train your leadership in the activity. And a lot of time, these capabilities, I think, is more important in life than the sheer score. Of course, you need to require the knowledge, but I think the whole point of residential college is to train these skills. In many ways, I think similar to the colleges in Yale University. And I think particularly, I think for undergraduate students, it's very important to find their own interest rather than to, you know, just diving something that you just feel be the right moment. And I think in Westlake University, we have first 1.5 to 2 years, you can pick your major. And that's quite rare among the Chinese university. I think that's very important. And particularly, I think if the students have a senior PI, principal investigators, who they can talk to, and they can talk to the graduate students, their input and opportunity to sort of mingle with them and to find out what their true interest is. I think that's very important early in the undergraduate studies. Well, I think it will be a lot easier to do everything when you really love it, right? Versus, you know, if you feel that, you know, it's more, you know, rewarding in terms of financial status, etc. I think that's probably not the best thing. I think it's most important to pick something that you really like, and to be excel at the thing that you're doing, that eventually be more rewarding than to chase an immediate goal that's you know, seems to be the, you know, earn a lot of money or have a high reputation, etc. Well, at first, I think Westlake University will be, I think it's quite sure that we will become a highly international community. We're growing, and maybe not as fast as I had wished, but I think we are taking the step, you know, towards a very international university, particularly in terms of undergraduate bodies, that we have increasing larger body of international students. And second, I would like to see Westlake University become more successful in research, and because, as I mentioned, we have a good faculty, we have very good infrastructure, we have a good management style, and all the setup, the software is in place. And I think I'm pretty certain that we will have high quality research coming out consistently, including from my own lab. Hopefully we will make good discoveries, right? So I think that's what I like to see. And more importantly, I think education is important. I think it's a good experiment to sort of a mix of all these concepts at Westlake University, particularly considering the strong force coming from the conventional Chinese education system, where the students, as I mentioned, being pushed by the parents and the teachers to pass the college entrance exam. And I want them to have a more choice, to really think through their own career in Westlake University. I think in many ways, I think we will change Chinese society. One thing has already happened in, you know, our recruitment scheme has been taken up by the Ministry of Education to be applied to the top 9 universities across the country. And it's amazing to see that a little university can change the whole country. I think that's something I would like to see more and more such things to happen, because we insist, because we work hard towards certain principles and we tested it out in Westlake University, and this eventually changed the education system in China. I think that is the ultimate goal.